Before I begin, I want to thank Nick and William for putting on this event. I was at the event, the first one in New York. It was really well done, and this one, I think, has even topped that. So thanks, guys. Who here has heard of Steem before? Anybody? Wow, it's a lot of hands. Have you been on my website, steemit.com, before? A lot of people too. That's cool. Now we've got something new that we're proposing for the Steem ecosystem. It's called Smart Media Tokens. And what Smart Media Tokens is to me is a way of enabling many, many more experiments that are kind of like Steem. Steem to me was this experiment in using incentives built into a cryptocurrency to grow a community in the context of social media. And I sort of look at Steemit.com as an example of the future of the internet. In 5 and 10 years, we are going to see thousands of websites that have integrated cryptocurrencies to achieve fundraising, monetization for their website, and community growth. So through the Smart Media Tokens, websites and entrepreneurs of all sorts are going to be able to tap into these things. So I'll just walk you through a little bit of how we got here. So if you guys don't know, Steem is its own blockchain. And up until about 3 days ago, this chart was an accurate representation of the number of transactions on Steem, which is in blue, versus Ethereum, which is in red, versus Bitcoin, which is in yellow. It's no longer accurate since that Ethereum application came out with the kitties, the crypto kitties or something. Have you guys seen that? And now I think Ethereum is really in the lead. I'm not sure on the exact number. But yeah, so a little more context on Steem. It's actually become host to many applications, not just Steemit.com. There are other portals, other social media portals to the Steem blockchain. There's busy.org. There's Zapple, which is a sort of Twitter competitor. DLive, which is focusing on incentivizing live streaming. There's Vessel, which is like a client wallet. DTube, which is like a YouTube competitor using Steem as a way of incentivizing participation. And so what's really going on is, they're building an interface, putting in a backend to support the type of content that they want to portray on the website. Some of them are using IPFS to host that content. Some of them are just using the Steem blockchain if it's just text. But then what's really key is they're using Steem to incentivize everything. So see here in red, you can see, we've highlighted this pending payout of $200 going to this post, 67 cents going to this comment. This system of rewards can be integrated on any website. And I think in the future we'll see it happen in many, many more places, but we'll see it happen even faster with the advent of new tokens that are able to capture and harness incentives for an entrepreneur's specific goals and for a community's specific goals. And one of the reasons we know that is we've taken a lot of lessons from Ethereum. Over the last year, we've seen tons of these initial coin offerings, these ICOs, these TGEs, token generation events. And what we're learning from that is that fundraising is extremely important in bootstrapping these new economies. They get projects off the ground, get them going. But we've also seen some problems with this. There's lots of tokens and projects coming out, and we're not seeing those tokens or those projects materialize into something where you have sustainable businesses with revenue models, and we're not necessarily seeing those tokens help to grow a community. So with Smart Media Tokens, we set out to solve both those problems. We want tokens to not just help with ICO, but also to help with monetization of a website or many websites. And then, of course, we want the token to continue to be living and continue to incentivize more people to show up and participate in that community. And I feel that, in the future, any ICO that's not thinking about executing on monetization sustainably and on growth of a community is really letting down all the people that they invite into their ecosystem in the first place. So this is very important to me, I think, for the future of cryptocurrencies or tokens. So a few of the details here about how Smart Media Tokens work. One of the things that makes it successful is there's this decentralized distribution of new tokens that get allocated based on participation on the blockchain itself. We call that mechanism the rewards pool. There's constantly new tokens minted every day that must be distributed to people who are participating in the network. And this is key for continuous growth. There's always opportunity for new people to show up and participate. I think that's going to be key in many entrepreneurs' token models in the future. Rather than us just seeing tokens get sold and then just sit in, a certain set of wallets into perpetuity. So another thing that we've designed into smart media tokens is a built-in ICO contract. One of the differences, one of the distinctions between smart media tokens on Steem and ERC20 on Ethereum is smart media tokens is not Turing complete. It's designed specifically to accomplish a certain set of goals, and then the code is written natively at the same level as the consensus logic. So what ends up happening is when you issue tokens, instead of being able to write any sort of custom code you want around that token, you're simply tuning a set of parameters to accomplish a certain set of things. And one of those things is the ICO. So as you launch a token, you can decide exactly what are the parameters of the ICO, choose the supply, choose the the steepness of the rewards curves for the token, choose the supply curves, and choose all the different voting mechanics and things like that. But ICO is certainly one of those parameters, and I think it's going to be very important to people, but it is optional. In the future, websites will be able to issue tokens extremely easily and have them come into existence solely through the proof of brain mechanism or the voting mechanism that distributes tokens, for instance, just like in Steem. Okay, there's that element of monetization that I mentioned. Where that's going to come from in this new smart media token model is that because you have this rewards pool, this continuous flowing model of new tokens, it gives an opportunity to website operators to take a rake or a percentage of all the tokens flowing through their website. So you can take 15% or 5% of all the rewards flowing through, and it becomes a revenue model that's completely additive to what we're seeing with mainstream publishers today who are looking at advertising revenues and monetization of data to make their money. Now with token, they have a completely new revenue model that doesn't take away from what they're doing currently. They're synergistic. Okay, and then also what's really important is decentralized distribution of tokens. We're seeing lots of tokens appear today that companies are claiming they're going to distribute to their users. This worries me a little bit. I think that that sort of centralized model is susceptible, not just where regulators can step in and say that these companies may be money transmitters by being administrators of currency, but it's potentially a consumer safety issue, where if you have one company distributing all the tokens, it's possible that they get hacked or there's some malicious actor and whatever assurances or promises were made by that company do not end up coming true. That's why decentralized distributions are so important, and you get that natively with smart media tokens. This is all going to happen as well, coded with decentralized exchange. So as soon as you launch a smart media token, it's trading against Steem, you have instant price discovery. There's other cool tools there too. We've taken some of the plays out of the Bancor playbook. There's going to be an automated market maker concept that I think is going to be really cool too. But ultimately, we're building a decentralized exchange here. On top of the fact that Steem, I don't know if everyone knows, has no transaction fees because it uses bandwidth rate limiting based on stake rather than fees. I think we're going to have a pretty compelling offering here as far as DEXs go. Here is just a little snapshot of what launching a token in this system may be like. You can see here a sort of mock-up of all the steps you might take to launch your token. You're naming it, you're choosing your curves, you're setting the economics, what are the emissions rates annually and things like that. And ultimately, it's just going to be a real turnkey operation to set up a token and then eventually integrate it into your website. Or even fork an existing website. One of the advantages of this future that we're entering into is everything's going to be open source. For instance, Steemit is open source. All these other apps on Steem are open source. If you want to start a business in the future, fork one of these open source websites, launch a token, focus on some sort of specific content, and get your business going. And I guess I'm running out of time here. I wasn't really looking at the clock. But this is for everybody, existing businesses and current entrepreneurs. There's lots of business development going on behind the scenes with existing media companies and publishers, and I think we have a lot of work ahead in this space. So stay tuned, get in touch with me, ned@steemit.com. If you want to be involved, if you're a publisher, reach out, please. And the protocol will be live sometime in 2018. Thank you all very much. Thank you, William.